What's up guys, DTomman18 here, and today we have a deck profile featuring Sleeky. I'm just kidding. But we have a deck profile for Synchrons. Yes, I've done this twice now, and because I've done this twice now, this is going to be very fast paced because I don't want to make a very lengthy video. If you want to talk about how cards are used with each other that I don't mention, then go ahead and post them in the comments. So, jumping right into it, we run 3 Junk Synchrons, heart of the deck, best tuner in the deck, if not the best tuner in the whole game. And yeah, you need 3 because it's just that good. 2 quick draw Synchrons, the only thing I will say about this card is 3 is too much, 1 is too little because you end up milling it half the time with your Rykos or Charge of the Light Brigade because this deck does run a lot of milling, cards that mill I mean, and you need 2 just in case you mill the other one, and 3 is definitely too cloggy. We run 1 Synchron Explorer, mainly in here just for the Quasar combo that requires itself, quick draw Synchron and Level Eater, the 3 card combo that everyone knows. It's mainly in here used for that, so that's why I don't run 2 or 3. And if not, you could still summon a Synchron from your graveyard, so it's actually very versatile. 1 Unknown. People will think that it's mainly in here for the Quasar combo. Well, even though it is, because that's the only target Road Warrior has to summon a level 1 machine or warrior that's a tuner. The only one in here is Unknown Synchron. And it is used for that. However, I use it a lot more often just for the Junk and Doppel effect combo. I mean Junk Doppel and a level 1 tuner. Most of the time Unknown Synchron because if you draw it then you special summon it. And basically you just Junk Synchron and Doppel and you get Librarian in 2 tokens and then use Unknown in the token to make Librarian, formula, and you +2 off of that and you still have a token on the field. So that's mainly what it's in here for. The best non-tuner in the deck, definitely Level Eater. I'm sure you all know what it does. 3 is definitely too much. 1 is too little because you want this in your graveyard, and having 2 gives you a better chance of drawing into it and or milling it. So yeah, Level Eater, my favorite card. Cobalt, we run 1, not 2, not 3, not even 0, because just having that extra level 2 option if you need it to synchro summon is very, very good. You can purposely mill it with Foolish Burial. If you milled it with Ryko, that's just like, oh, alright, nice, I have a level 2 in the graveyard if I need it. So just having 1 is very good. It opens up your synchro summons. In my opinion, this would have been better if it was a level 1, but it's still a good card. Level 2. Next we run 3 Rykos, yes, because they pop a card, they're extra MSTs if you need them, and the best part of this card is the milling, because we need to mill in this deck. We need cards in the graveyard. That is why we run Ryko, and because it pops any card on the field, that is very, very good. I usually pop back row, unless there's a problematic monster. But yeah, milling 3 is very good, especially in this deck. I will showcase these 3 cards at the same time because they complement each other. Debris, Dandy, and Spore. Debris summons Dandy, and if you already have a level 1 non-tuner, you can go into a level 8, and such as Scrap Dragon or Stardust Dragon, and you'll have 2 extra tokens. And if you have Spore in your graveyard, then you could banish Dandelion to summon Spore, and then use Spore and 1 token to make a level 5, maybe Librarian, and you'll still have 1 token left, and you can use Scrap to pop the other token. Or I'll use Level Eater on Scrap Dragon, then use Scrap Dragon to pop Level Eater in a card they control, so it's now level 7, and Debris plus, oh, Debris right here, Debris plus that level 7 Scrap Dragon and or BLS or any level 7 monster will give you Star Eater. And Star Eater is a boss level 11 synchro monster that we'll get into in just a little bit. So these 3 cards are all great, definitely run them, especially since we have Star Eater in the deck now. Next, 1 Tuning Wear. It's in here because of that draw 1 power. You usually don't use it for that level 2 effect that he has because half the time his effect is negated because you summon it via Junk Synchron. And since it's a graveyard effect, you actually do draw 1 if its effect is negated. And typically you'll use Junk Synchron and Tuning Wear to make Armory Arm, and then you just +1 off of that because of Tuning Wear. So Tuning Wear is kind of like an upstart in the deck more or less. And since you could reuse it, it's very great. I love Tuning Wear. 1 is a very, very great number. No need for 2, and definitely no need for 3 unless you're trying machine duplication. 1 Doppel, mainly in here for the Junk Doppel and a level 1 tuner effect, so you can make Librarian and formula and +2 off of that, and you'll still have a token left. That's mainly what it's used for. It's also used for making Junk Warrior 3100 attack if you need it. So just 1 is a good number. It's also a versatile card like Cobalt or even Tuning Wear. So I like this card, definitely 1. It's searchable through Rhoda, that's why we run 1, because we do run Rhoda now. And yeah. For the Chaos Engine, we run BLS and Chaos Sorcerer because they're overpowered. You have a lot of lights such as Raikos. You have a lot of darks such as Junk Synchron, Level Eater, though you don't really want to banish that unless you have to. And yeah, they're boss monsters. Since Chaos Sorcerer is now at 2, we might run a second one by taking out Darks and Morgue. And what Darks and Morgue does is it starts a chain when it summons, so you can't Thunder King it. And you summon it by banishing 1 wind and dark monster from your graveyard, or by summoning it from your graveyard by banishing 1 wind and 1 dark monster from your hand. And what it does is, while this card is face up on the field, your opponent cannot set monsters, or set cards at all. So they can't set back row, they can't set monsters. So it just traps them, and they have to destroy this card if they want to set, because we hate set cards. This deck hates set cards. Bottomless will screw you over, Warning will screw you over, Venus Chain will screw you over. So Darks and Morgue just adds in. And again, I did say I might take it out for another Chaos Sorcerer, though I don't really think we need to, because we can get over monsters pretty easily with this deck. And Darks and Morgue, it's, I think, easier to summon because you just need a wind. And although you have less winds in the deck, you're more often to get them because Quick Draw Synchron is a wind and Junk Synchron is a wind. So it's very easy to summon, that's why we run them. Moving on, for the hand traps, we have Double Veiler and Double Max C. Double Max C, of course, because you draw a bunch. Self-explanatory. Double Veiler, they're all self-explanatory really. No need for 3, and I think 2 each is a great number. For the other hand trap, we have Gores. Gores because it gives you 2 level 7s if you need it, and because, well, you can stop players' direct attack. And yeah, self-explanatory on that. Moving on finally to the spells, we have 3 tuning. 3 tuning, self-explanatory is your Searcher. Searcher is unknown, Junk, or Quick Draw. And, well, yeah, self-explanatory on that. We run 1 Rhoda, only searches 4 cards in the deck, either Junk Synchrons or Doppel Warriors, and you mainly use it to search Doppel Warrior, because if you have tuning and him in your hand, or this in your hand, you search this for Doppel and you search tuning for Junk Synchron. Or if you really need Junk Synchron, this is that 4th card that searches Junk Synchron, so it's even easier to add Junk Synchron in your hand. And most of the time I do use it for Doppel, because I like Doppel in my hand for that Junk Doppel combo. So yeah, Rhoda's awesome. Charge because it adds extra milling power, and if you have like a dead hand, you can search a Raiko and just set the Raiko, and you know that your opponent has to do something to get over Raiko, but mainly used just to mill. 1 for 1, self-explanatory, bunch of level 1s in this deck. I usually summon Spore with it for that Junk Doppel effect, because if you do have it and Spore and Unknown in your deck and you want to summon a level 1 tuner, you should summon Spore, because if you draw Dandelion or you mill Dandelion, then you could use their effects and keep Unknown in the deck just in case you need it for the Quasar combo. So it's mainly used to summon Spore or Tuning Wear. Mind Control, because you take an opponent's monster, you could use their effect if they have any. You could synchro with it. Self-explanatory, I like it. 1 Lance, I used to run 2. However, I run 1 now because it saves you from Bottomless, it saves you from cards like Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, or anything like that, or even helps you get over a monster that happens to have more attack. So just 1, because it's a really great feeling when they Bottomless you and you have Forbidden Lance in hand. That's just like, fuck you. I love Forbidden Lance. 1 Foolish, because it just mills a card. It's you need it if you need to mill a Level Eater or a Dandelion or a Cobalt or a Spore or anything like that. You need Foolish Burial. For the staples, well, I guess that was a staple too. For more staples, we run double MST. Self-explanatory, pops a card. I used to run one or none, but there's a lot of setting now, and I just want to get those cards out of the way. Dark Hole, obvious. And for the final two cards of the deck, the only two traps we run are Breakthrough Skills. Breakthrough skill I prefer it over Fiendish Chain because since this deck does mill a lot, and you happen to mill this card, then you could use it on your turn and get over cards like Thunder King Ryle, so you can add cards to your hand, or Archlord Christia, so you can special summon, or any card like that, negate their effect on your turn, or even if you draw it, you can negate it on their turn, then on your turn. So I believe it's better than Fiendish Chain in this deck. Is it overall better than Fiendish Chain? That's hard. But in this deck, it's definitely better because if you do mill it, then so what? That's a good mill. You can use it on your turn if needed. However, a lot of the times players might forget to use Breakthrough, and I'm guilty of that too. I always forget about Breakthrough in my graveyard, so I actually need to one-up my skills on that. And yeah, Breakthrough is just very good in this deck. To the extra deck, pretty standard. Quasar, because it's Quasar. Star Eater, because, well, it's Star Eater, and it's very easy to summon. Shooting Star, not necessarily because of Quasar, but because of Stardust, and it's easy to make. Although, you'll definitely make Shooting Star a lot because of Quasar. So Stardust, of course. Scrap Dragon, that's also another staple you need. Black Rose, because it's Black Rose. Librarian, obviously, this will let you draw a lot. This card is the best level 5 tuner, Synchro, I'm sorry. And it's my favorite Synchro because it just keeps plussing you, and you can just draw infinitely if not. Catastor, because it's another level 5, and you'll never know if you'll need it. It's a great card. Moving on to the Synchron part of the Synchro monsters, we have Junk Destroyer. It's a really great card, pops cards. It's versatile with Level Eater. You can make a bunch of non-tuners with it to destroy 2, 3, or even 4 cards. 4 is actually possible, and it's really great when you can do that. Road Warrior, only in here for the Quasar combo. Not only, but maybe like 99.9% of the time. I've never made it other than that. Even though it is a 3000 beat stick, I've never made it to not use the Quasar combo. However, it is there for an option. Junk Archer, I used to run Berserker because I thought Berserker was a better card at the time. However, since Exceeding is very common in this set, in this format, or any format really, it's an overall better card. It also lets you get over monsters so you can attack directly if it was their only monster, or if they have an attack boost that's not on the field or anything. When it comes back, it's going to lose that attack boost. So I love Junk Archer. One Drill Warrior, because it's the best level 6 in my opinion in this deck. It's actually the only level 6. But it's definitely better than Turbo Warrior or Junk Garna because it has an effect that lets you attack directly by having its attack, or most commonly used, you can discard one card and then banish this card, and then in the standby phase you add one monster from your graveyard to your hand, and it has to be to your hand because it's part of his effect. So it can't be like a Synchro monster. But yeah, Drill's really great. It recycles itself over and over and over, gives you another card from your graveyard to your hand if you need it, such as BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, or more commonly Junk Synchron or Quick Draw Synchron. So Drill Warrior is just my favorite Synchro in this deck, for Synchron material monsters anyway. Junk Warrior, because its ability to go 3100 easily with Doppel Warrior, or the Quasar combo, or just that one level 5 you need for Quick Draw if it's level 4. It's mandatory. Armory Arm, because it's my favorite level 4. With this and BLS, makes it 4000 attack, and if they have 2 attack monsters, or 1 attack monsters and no other monsters, you pretty much win the game because of his effect. That'll be 8000 flat because BLS will be 4000. Or equip this to Quasar, 2 attack monsters, that's game. Armory Arm is just good. Also gives that 1000 extra attack if you need it. And basically, your opponent loses life points equal to whatever attack monster you have after Armory Arm because of his awesome effect. And for the last card, we run Formula Synchron because that's, well, self-explanatory. For the extra deck, I do not have much of an extra deck because I don't really play competitively. 3 World Decrees because there's a lot of traps in the deck, or in the format, and you really hate trap cards, and the only trap cards you run are Breakthrough, and this only negates traps on the field, so you can still use Breakthrough in your graveyard. Next we have DD Crow, because you can banish a Hornet if there is one, or just banish cards in the graveyard. I don't know what happened to my second one, so I would side 2. And for, I actually side a Berserker, because if they have cards like Spirit Reaper, Marshmallow, or anything, you can just get over it with Berserker. So that's why I run Berserker. And Turbo Warrior, I actually have it just in case I play like a Monarch deck. They're all level 6, so they can't target Turbo Warrior. And that's why I run Turbo Warrior. And it actually has another effect. When this card attacks level 6 or higher Synchro monster, have that monster's attack till the end of the damage step. I completely forgot about that effect. I haven't used this card in so long because Drill Warrior is a whole bunch better. But yeah, Turbo Warrior. And that's pretty much it for the deck. Main deck, extra deck, side deck. Hope you guys enjoyed.